Allora, oggi il primo ospite, anche un ospite internazionale, cos'è Carlo Bermejo Rubio di Europa. Dove sei? Ah, vente pa' qua. Con lui parlo spagnolo per questioni politiche. E quindi ho il piacere di averlo convinto. Lui aveva fatto già questa esposizione a Bilbao e secondo me è molto molto interessante quello che ha a dire. L'unica cosa è che dovrà farla in inglese, ma per lui non c'è nessun problema, quindi abbiamo tradotto, anzi lui ha tradotto tutte le slide in inglese e vi lascio in sua compagnia. Qui c'è il microfono, qui c'è il... già sai, perché tu sei uno che fa spesso i Data Management Summit. Grazie!
Hello. Grazie mille, Michele. Buongiorno a tutti. Sorry, but I think this is the few words that I had to say in Italian. I do my speech in English. The first thing that I want to say is thank you to you for being here, and especially thank you to Michele for several reasons, but mainly for two reasons. The first one is for having me here. I'm a fan of the DMS event in Spain. I think it was one of the best events in terms of quality feedback, in terms of networking, because it's not only communication between that side and that side, or that side to that side, it's between the tables. No? And this is where the magic happens, and you can be inspired by others. So thanks for having me here, and thanks for organizing and create this kind of events. Well, it's more a franchise of events. No? You have events in Spain, events in Italy, now in LATAM, in Miami, I don't know where we will be in a few months. So congrats, Michele, well done, and thanks. Okay, I'm José Carlos Bermejo. I'm responsible for data analytics teams in Europa. Europa is a Spanish island. I don't know if it's well known here in Italy. It's mid-sized island. We operate 53 aircraft, mainly Boeing, with more than 60 destinations, including Rome, Venezia, and Milano here in Italy. Last year, we moved more than 12 million passengers. This is a lot of data in terms of passengers, in terms of customers, in terms of reservations. But my team not only have to deal with, let's say, commercial data. We have to deal with all data in the organization, financial data, operational data, maintenance data. So it's, at the end of the day, it's a lot of data. And our vision as a company is to be the preferred airline between Europe and the Americas. Okay, let's move to the important part of the chat. Data strategies. Why do organizations create data strategy or define data strategy? The answer for me is really easy. It's because the goal is not to use whatever data for whatever use case. It's to use the proper data by the proper people with the correct processes and focus on the correct use case. This is the way that we can extract the maximum value for our data. And that's the reason for me that all organizations define this kind of strategies. No? But when I hear the word strategy, there are two sentences that came to my mind. The first is well-known, culture eats strategy for breakfast. And the second one that is more fun and more powerful and I like more is, but that I think is the same meaning, but I prefer that one. Is from our friend Mike Tyson that said that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. I mean, it's the same meaning. I mean, you can define, you can think in your head what is the strategy, how are you going to execute, what will be the operational model or the governance model, but in the definition process, you don't have to deal with real problems. No, it's easy. I think it's the easier part of my job. Then, when you try to execute, you find the Mike Tysons that we have in our organization. For example, culture. No? For example, change management. For example, silos. We always talk about data silos, but there are also technological silos. There are organizational silos. I mean, people who doesn't want to talk with other people. Departments that doesn't want to talk with other departments. I don't know if it's the same in Italy. In Spain, for sure, it happens. No? At the same, we are Latino, so it's more or less. So the conclusion for me is that execution is even more important than the strategy. No? Okay, if that's it too, my question is, okay, if execution is more important, how I have to monitor the progress of my execution? How am I ensure that I am executing well? No? This is that I want to share with you guys. We created a framework in order to monitor the progress of the execution of the strategy. Okay, let's talk about the strategy first. It's really easy to define the strategy. The problem is the execution. It's so easy that fits in one only slide, the data strategy for Europa. We have three main pillars. Decentralization is the first one. We want to bring the data into the business because the business know the data that we have. They know the problems that they want to fix, and they are the experts. No? So I think it makes sense to bring tools, training, culture, methodologies to those people in order they have more autonomy and more agility to create analytics than the other way, that the centralized way, that they depend on centralized teams, technical teams, in order to do analytics. So I think decentralization is the key in order to be more autonomous, to have more autonomy and more agility. But decentralization without governance is a chaos. No? Imagine non-technical people, business people doing analytics by themselves without best practice, without taking care of privacy, security, ownership, definition, and so on. No? It could be a mess. So the second pillar is data governance. And the third pillar is very obvious, data literacy. I mean, if we want people in the business areas doing analytics, we have to train them, no? In order to review the quality of the data, in order to choose the best visualization in order to extract maximum information from the data, or for example, with storytelling, for example, no? It's important matter. No? So these are the main pillars of our strategy. Okay, now we have the strategy. What do we monitor? What do we do in Europa? We monitor 8 different KPIs in a monthly basis for each business management and department, sometimes even department level 1 and level 2. It depends on the organization. And with all these different KPIs, we generate that we call IMA in Spanish, as Índice de Madurez Analítica, is Analytical Maturity Index in English. That is an average of these different KPIs in a monthly basis for each department, each area. Let's see these different KPIs. The first one is strategy, but not a strategy of the overall initiative, a strategy of the department. It is related with the department vision. I mean, do departments understand their needs? Do they know what they have to do with data or not? Are these needs aligned with their strategy objectives, for example? Do they measure the progress of the projects? The second one is culture. Culture is related to resources and processes. I mean, do they have the correct roles in their team? I mean, business analysts, product owners, data stewards, data owners, even data engineers. Do they have the roles in the team to be autonomous in order to work with data? Are these people trained? Do they follow standards and best practice? This is important. The third one is data governance, but talking in terms of data democratization and ownership. Do the departments define their own data sets, but not only to be used by themselves, only to share across the company, to democratize the data? No? And if they define these data sets, do they control the use cases, the lineage, the value? Which is using theirs? Which people, which department are using their data sets? Do they apply governance policies? This is what we want to measure with this KPI. The fourth is demand management. It has to be with priorities, mainly. They catalog their needs, or is today I want something and tomorrow I want something else. No? They have a plan. No? Do they calculate the business case of each, for each requirement in order to prioritize based on something? Is there a short or medium-term roadmap? Then we move to data quality, accuracy, consistency, completeness, a lot of dimensions related with data quality. Do departments validate its own data? They know how to do it because it's not always easy to business people try to validate the data. Remediation, what happens when we have a problem? Let's improvise, or we have a structured process in place in order that defines that when we have a problem, we have to do that. No? Even they monitor the quality, the evolution of the quality of their data. No? Then business intelligence is related to self-service analytics. Do departments use BI applications, or they are not enough mature and they are doing using reporting, not BI? And when they are using BI, they are able to evolve these BIs, making transformation or change visualizations or adding new KPIs with self-service platforms, or they depend on technical people. Do they use governance sources, important, or they are feeding the BIs with Excels? For example, that is a problem that we have in common. Data science, optimization, advanced analytics, forecasting. Do departments identify new use cases? Something that happens is that sometimes business people don't know what a data science can do for them. So sometimes we create special meetings with them in order to explain what we can do, what are we doing for other departments, or what is the industry doing. They collaborate with us in definition, in development. They have use cases in production. And one of the most important, the ROI. Do the departments calculate the ROI of the projects that are in production? It's not the key is not do things that are valuable for the company, and you have to be sure that are valuable. So you have to identify the value. So these are the 8 KPIs that we measure in order to monitor the progress of our strategy. Why those KPIs? Because they are aligned with our strategy. If we had another strategy, we will have another different KPIs. These are the pillars: decentralization, data governance, and data literacy. Strategy, culture, and demand management is related with decentralization. Of course, governance and quality is related with data governance pillar. And business intelligence, data science, and even ROI is related with data literacy. For that reason, we created these metrics. Okay, it's clear. The strategy is clear, the KPIs. Why those KPIs? How do we monitor? I think this is the important thing. We have, for each KPI, we have defined a stairway with incremental levels. Let's put an example with demand management. This is the stairway that we have. It goes from 0 to 5, increasing the level of maturity. Each level is self-descriptive. I mean, it's easy to understand. And more important, levels are well defined, not open to interpretation. I mean, I don't want to argue or discuss with some department if they are in level 2 or level 3. Levels has to be concrete, and no doubts about if you are in one level or another, because discussion is about that, not about other things, interpretation. For example, this is a simplification. Of course, we have defined minimum items for each level, and this is a simplification. It's more complex than that, but it's just one example. If you are in non-existing in the KPI of demand management, is that you have no planning in place. I think every morning I ask the team for different things, and tomorrow I will ask for other different things because I have not a specific plan. Definition. Okay, definition, the minimum item, or one of the minimum items is you have a backlog maintained by business user. You have your product owner that has a list of tasks that business people is in charge of maintaining these needs. The next level is prioritization. Okay, this backlog is prioritized constantly, at least the higher part of the more important part of the backlog. Then rating. You are able to calculate, previous to develop the project, the business case for each epic, because if you calculate the business case for each epic, you are going to prioritize better. The second one, the fourth one is ROI. You are able to calculate the impact and the return of each project that we have developed, because it will fit you again in order to prioritize the next projects. And the last one is a strategic strategy. You have a strategic roadmap. It's clear, or you have the backlog or you don't have the backlog. So there are no any kind of discussion about if we are in 2 or 3. And we do this stairway for each KPI, for each department, for each area management. Capacity versus quantity. I prefer capacity. I mean, I don't care if your backlog is 100 items or are 20 items. You have the items that you need. I prefer to do that, not to have the correct items, not too much items. And important, consolidated procedures. I mean, they are part of the day-to-day operations, not because one department one day calculate the business case for one project is they are going to achieve the rating level. No, they have to do constantly, no, for every project. No, it has to be a consolidated procedure. Okay, benefits. This is important because this that I show is just to measure, no, but we have other benefits with this framework more than only measure which is the current situation. Of course, it shows the current status and evolution. We can measure which is the status, the maturity index for the whole company. No, this is the evolution. We were in 1 in 2013, in 2023, and now we are in 3.20, more or less. Okay, but also we can measure the progress of each area management, each department. No, we can see here that there are areas that are more mature than others, and this is typical situation in every company. No, also we can analyze each KPI for each KPI, the evolution of all the KPIs, and also we can define the goals. No, this was the goal for 2023, 2024, and 2025. Okay, this is the main benefit. Well, the first benefit, but maybe it's not the most important. It's only to measure. The second benefit, and this is one of the important things on this framework. It doesn't only measure the current situation of the past. It's a path with concrete actions for improvement. I mean, for every step, we have defined some actions in order to go to the next step. So we have the path. We know how to improvise. If you are in level 2 in demand management, in order to be in level 3, you have to do that and that and that. So we have the path created, no? For every step of every stairway of every KPI, no? And this is really, really important. Let's put an example with the demand management. If you are on non-existing, the next action required to pass to the definition is, okay, let's identify who is the product owner, who will be the product owner for that is going to identify the needs of this department, and let's start doing planning meetings with them in order to collect their needs. No? Okay, if you want to move to the next level, okay, you have to start using Jira because it's the tool that we have in the corporation, no? As a project management tool. No? You have to start using Jira to create the task in order to collect the demand. No? You have to put the backlog in Jira, and we start helping these junior product owners in order to prioritize and refine the task. No? In order to pass to the next level, okay, we are going to provide training to those people in the method that you use for evaluate the business case. We have created a method. It's a template in order to, which is the formal way to define the priorities. No? But this is the template. They have to adapt because each department is different, so they have to adapt the method to their needs. No? The next one, in order to be in ROI, we have to provide them information or training about how the company is calculating the ROI for each data solution. This is also a framework that we have created, how we want to calculate the return. And very important, it's not the project, usually the product owner calculates the ROI, but the director, the manager has to approve the ROI, okay? Very important. Then in order to go to the next level, they have to define a medium-term roadmap and plan resources and link the project KPIs to the strategic objectives. No? We teach them how to do it. But of course, if they are in that level, they are more mature than they are in the initial level. So it's a step with our maturity, and also it's a path to increase the maturity. And if they are in a strategy, we have to do nothing. No? Congratulate the department because they have achieved the top level maturity index. No? So this is one of the main benefits of this framework. It's not only measure, it's also create this path of concrete actions. We don't try to improvise for every department. We have the roadmap. We have a clear picture about what we want for each KPI. So let's follow the path. No? And the path is defined with this framework. Okay, another benefit, gamification as a change driver, it works, it really works. The first time I really realized it works is I was having a meeting with a director, an important director, this kind of director that goes to the board, and he asked me why my department is maturity 2.5 and the other department is 3, no? and I start thinking about that, and I think this could be something that motivates the teams to go further, no? To dedicate more resources, because nobody wants to be below other departments, no? So we use it. We created this BI tool in order to compare departments with others, and we promote this BI. I mean, all the people in the organization has access to this maturity BI. Of course, product owners have, of course, directors have, and they can compare by departments, by area management, who is more mature, who is less mature, who has increased the maturity levels in the last month more than others, no? Even in some meetings, when we plan regular meetings with all the departments in order to review the data strategy of these departments, and we talk about the maturity index, but we also compare, no? The value for that department is 2, and we say that the average of Europa is 3.009, no? Why do we do it? Because it works. Nobody wants to be above, no? We also have the evolution, no? We compare the evolution of this department with the evolution of the overall company. That we use is the department is below the average, we compare them with the average. If the department is above the average, we compare them with the top performance team, no? In order to motivate them to go further. This is all that we measure. No, we have other KPIs. This is for the strategic part, but of course we have other KPIs that are more related with the operational day-to-day, no? The more tactical KPIs. For example, analytic solutions and their use. We have this BI where we can see all the data solutions that we have in production, no? This is from a few months ago. We had almost 700 different solutions, including data sets published in our marketplace and BI solutions, no? And more than 1,000 unique users in the last 90 days that use those KPIs, those solutions. But we can monitor, we can track who is using which department are using more the solutions, which department has more solution in place, and so on. So this is important to measure. Of course, the ROI that we calculate that we saw in the KPI, we put together in another BI. Of course, I cannot share. This is masked. The economical value that we calculate is masked because I cannot share. But I can say that it's more than 20 million in direct return every year in more revenue or less cost, just directly because they are using these solutions, no? They take better decisions because they have better information, so this has an impact in the P&L. But we have other ways to measure the ROI. Not always is possible to measure in economic values, so sometimes we measure the mitigation of risk or the strategic importance of some functionality, no? We have several ways to do that. It's another framework. Very important, quality of daily operation. Vale? We talk a lot about data quality, but data quality is not important if you don't have the solution in place when you want to use it, no? So if the operation is not performing correctly and you don't have the solution prepared in the time that you need to use it, it doesn't make sense, no? So we monitor, no? We have an A here to monitor how many problems do we have. For every solution, we have a specific time where the solution has to be ready. Is ready or not? No, what happened? No, and data literacy, very important also. No, how much people have we trained in which departments, and so on. No, so not only we measure the strategic KPIs, also tactical KPIs. Summary. Of course, we must define data strategies that is aligned with the organizational objectives. Everybody knows about that. But important, we had to think which are the best KPIs to track if the strategy is performing well. How do I monitor them? I think we had defined these maturity levels clearly as a guide to achieve our objectives. And finally, people. We must have the required resources to be able to monitor the progress. If everybody is focused on the day-to-day, nobody is going out to think with perspective to see which areas can we improve, which areas are performing well, which areas we can do better. No? So this is not something, this is frustrating because it's not something that you can do as an employee. It has to be pushed down by the board, no? By the directors, no? To free some people, extract these people from the day-to-day in order to think on how we can improve. No? And that's all. Thank you.
Bueno, gracias, José Carlos. A ver, tú tienes todo el kit completo. ¿Falta la gorra?
No, falta el nuevo.
El nuevo libro. No, pero te estoy diciendo, la camiseta tienes. La gorra tienes. ¿Qué te puedo regalar? El nuevo libro que estoy a punto de sacar. Un micrófono. Muy bien. Bueno, gracias, José Carlos.